What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our Kentucky Derby horse profiles. On this video, we're going to talk about Citizen Bull, the 2-year-old juvenile champion and 2-year-old horse of the year. He's made it into the Kentucky Derby, maybe not in the best of fashion. Let's pull up his Equibase page now and let's get to it. Citizen Bull, 2 starts, 1 first this year, 6 starts overall, 4 first, and a third. All right. Let's get to it here. Let's look at what Citizen Bull has done. A lot of good and then a little bit of bad here as of late. So as a 2-year-old, like we said, he was the 2-year-old of the year. He went 3 for 4, winning the American Pharoah and the Breeders Cup Juvenile. So obviously, the resume pretty strong when it comes to that. Now, in those races, all 3 of those wins that he had, he kind of just got the lead, and at least the race go 2 turns, I should say. The last 2 wins, just got the lead, took him gate to wire, no problem whatsoever. Just kind of galloped around there for easy victories. And that's what happened in his 3-year-old debut as well. The Robert B. Lewis Stakes, he went out and went gate to wire in a short field, and it was no problem. So all systems seem to be go. I had him ranked number 1 for a long time, and then I had him ranked number 2 behind Journalism after his impressive race. But still, I was pretty excited about this horse going into the Santa Anita Derby. Now, full disclosure, in that Santa Anita Derby, I did pick Journalism to win the race, but I thought Citizen Bull would run second, and I thought he would run pretty strongly. So he got out to his lead like usual. He did have a horse kind of breathing down his neck for a lot of the race named Westwood, a maiden that was thrown in by John Sheriffs to kind of try to help set the race up for his other runner, Baeza. And so we did kind of get to see Citizen Bull challenged a little bit on the front end, but he was still on the lead. Turning for home, I still thought he was going to run a very good race, and he just kind of went backwards to run 4th in that Santa Anita Derby. Now, after the race, Bob Baffert was on record saying Citizen Bull really needed a race. My first thought was, well, you could have ran in the San Felipe if you needed a race. You couldn't have, you didn't have to take 2 months off. So I don't really know about that so much, as I just don't think this horse, showed up with his best effort that day. And that was kind of, the bad news there. I didn't see a whole lot of excuse. Now, if you get me by Journalism, okay, I get that part of it, but to finish 4th, yeah, no, I was not excited about that performance whatsoever. Now, one thing that could have happened, I should say, when you look at the pedigree, sources buy into mischief out of the Disordered Humor, a mare. It doesn't really scream 1.25 miles, and it doesn't even really scream 1 1/8 miles. Maybe the distance is starting to get a little too long for this horse. He looked awfully good going 1.16 miles, but that 1.1 miles, he did fade quite a bit. And at the 1.16 miles kind of marker of that race, he still was kind of in a decent spot. So, maybe it got a little bit too long for him. We had a pedigree expert on earlier in the year, and he said, look, I think he's kind of outrunning that pedigree that he has already. So maybe he can do that. We do, can go longer. We do have Bob Baffert, kind of saying last year, we think he's going to be better, as a 3-year-old when the races get a little longer. So, but, pedigree wise, there's not a whole lot there that tells you this horse is really going to be great at 1.25 miles. So, that could be a little bit of an issue as well. So, look, when you look at this horse, that last race is just the one that really stands out as troubling, right? All his other ones have been fine. His other loss was 3rd in the Del Mar Futurity. It was a 1-turn race, and he ran just okay in that one, but the rest of these have been really good. So, as we kind of look forward and kind of wrap up his horse capsule here, what do you expect from him? I don't really know. The problem is Bob Baffert has 3 horses as of now in the race: Madaket Road, Citizen Bull, and Rodriguez. They all 3 have early speed. He's let Citizen Bull kind of go to the front in all of his races. When in the Robert B. Lewis, Rodriguez was in there, and I kind of thought Rodriguez would have the lead, and it was Citizen Bull. I don't know what Baffert will do, who he sends, who he tries to rate. It seems like this horse is kind of maybe a need the lead type. So maybe they try to send him, try to take it gate to wire. It's just hard for me to see him kind of bounce back strong enough after that's, such a poor effort. If he runs 2nd or even 3rd, you kind of feel a little bit better. But when a maiden out finishes you, that's not a great sign. So I'm not all in on Citizen Bull here. I think he'll be a pace presence if they kind of allow him to be that, but I'm not sure past that I want a whole lot to do with him, which is surprising. I kind of thought this would be a horse that I would back on the first Saturday in May in some form, but as I look at it now, I'm just not quite sure. So I'm out on Citizen Bull as of now. we'll kind of see how he leads into the race, how he's working out and things like that. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. Hit that like button if you like it. Hit subscribe. You really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, stay tuned to the channel for more Kentucky Derby coverage.